And do not hyphenate. Do not do it. Do not ever do that. I've done it. It's not fun.
Good evening and welcome to the February 26th meeting of the Florissant City Council. I would ask that you stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you please poll the council?
Yes, sir. Siam? Harris is absent. Manganelli? Here. Egan?
Here.
Caputa? Here. Childroth? Here. O'Donnell? Here. Pagano? Parson?
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes of February 12th, 2024. Not seeing any. Mr. Childroth makes a motion to approve the minutes. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is the time to speak to the council on any issue not necessarily on the agenda this evening for a period of up to 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to the mayor or one of the council members, please remain until after the meeting is over and we'll talk to you then. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait until that public hearing is called. If you are interested in speaking, I would ask that you complete a card, a yellow colored card that is on the table next to the entrance to the doorway. Mr. Justice Peterson Rhodes. Good evening, sir. If you'll state your name for the record, we have your address here.
Hello, my name is Justice Peterson Rhodes for the record. I come from the second ward of the city and was wanting to basically remind the council of an issue I've been pressing on for I'm not sure how long now, but will continue to until I see action on this, is the problem of the land use patterns within the city of Florissant. Living here without a motor vehicle and not able to do so due to a disability with how my eyesight functions, as many other residents of the city could easily relate. I've seen some of them trying to live here the same way I do, and it's pretty difficult. Though, while thinking on this and talking to one of the members sitting in front of me, we did go over data from the second and first ward and found that contrary to what the idea behind our land use codes may have us believe, a lot of this parking that's mandated through the zoning and land use codes has unfortunately led to a situation where a lot of land is being used, I'd say, for the wrong purposes, for the reason that all of this land that's being used for it, some of it is being used for its specified purpose. That's well enough, but a lot of it is excess and ends up being wasted, and in the process of doing so, it's more money from either whoever occupies the land or the city, what have you, having to maintain all of this extra asphalt that's more just creating more distance between people and where they have to go, thus creating this vicious cycle of car dependency where you can't live here without a car, and if you try to do it, you're kind of screwed. So I'd be really looking forward to working with you all to reform these zoning codes to make them in such a way where we can still have a way where people who own a motor vehicle can get to where they would like, but we also need to keep in mind this balance of needing to provide for the people who don't own these very expensive vehicles that, if we're going to be honest, I already know most of us, if we do own one, it's through debt anyway. So really changing these regulations would be a way to make the city more affordable for all of the residents. And I'll thank you for your time.
Thank you, Justice. Mr. Kaiser. I always hold my breath. Good to see you. Please state your name, and you got 3 minutes, sir.
Walter Kaiser, 105 North St. Charles Street, Florissant, Missouri, 63031-5910. And don't normally do this, but I'm going to change things around a little bit. I went into service on the 11th of June, 1950. I retired the second time on the 27th of September, 1991. Served 2 tours in Korea. First tour, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and about a month later, I was notified that I had received the Soldier's Medal, which is just 1 degree higher than the Bronze Star. I retired as a lieutenant colonel. I'm what's called a Mustang because I was enlisted long before I was commissioned. Any questions? Okay. I gave the young lady over here, which surprised me, I'm used to John being there, but he's gone now. Darn his hide. And Joseph, will you see, or Karen, would you see that Councilman Harris get the copy of the paper I gave out?
Absolutely.
And it has all the information to fill out for the Florissant's Veteran of the Year. One of the primary things is they must be a resident of Florissant. They are retained for 3 years, and on the bottom there's my email, and if you don't send an email, I would suggest you drop it off at the police department. Basically because the police department is the only business that I know other than the donut shop that is open 24 hours a day. And let's see, what else I got on here? Oh, Labor Day. I need to have those by Labor Day. 2nd of September, that'll give you plenty of time. Also, I'm going to throw something else at you. I am asking each of you council persons, men and ladies, and you too, Karen, if you care to, and Mr. Mayor, to nominate a veteran from your ward.
Mr. Kaiser, I hate to cut you off, but you're at your 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, I'll go to my second item. The 29th, see, I'm short-headed. The 29th of March is a Friday, and it's Vietnam Veterans Day. And you're all invited to come out at 1900. For those of you who aren't military, that's 7 p.m. to Coke Park to join us in honoring the individuals whose names are on the pedestal. And we try to have something a little different each year. So come on out and join us. Thank you. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Joseph,
Walter.
I'll leave now.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you for what you've done for this country. All right, moving along. Communications. There are no communications this week. Public hearings. Next item on the agenda is public hearings. Public hearing number 2401003 was opened and postponed to this date at the request of the petitioner. So we will now reopen the public hearing. Is the petitioner present, Ms. Burke and Mr. Pfeiffer? Good evening. If you'd be so kind as to state your name for the record, I'd appreciate it.
It's Scott Pfeiffer.
And the floor is yours. Tell us about your project, sir.
Okay. So this is a remodel for the Walmart at, let me see the address again, 3390 North Highway 67. Basically, we're here for all of the exterior modifications that we're doing as part of the standard remodel. So the first part of that would be exterior painting and rebranding of the store. So we're putting on several different signs, basically a like for like. I think the only thing that we're doing otherwise is just shifting the pickup from the left side to the right side of the facade. The entire facade is brick other than the rear of the store, so most of it is staying the exact same. The rear of the store we are painting to be a more fallback sort of tannish color that Walmart is currently going for. But that's only at the rear, and then the front sort of trespa panel, which I don't know if you guys, so that area, we are basically putting on a fascia so that way we get the Walmart blue, the big brand push. Other than that, we are restriping some of the lot. If I get to that part. So basically what's happening is we're moving pickup from the back left to up in front of basically the garden center area. They're expanding on the existing pickup area inside of the building, and so we're taking over more spots. I think it's 23 or I can get you an accurate count. We're still below the parking count. I think it's 28 spots actually. And then we are putting a light pole in the middle of that.
Okay, Mr. You're actually talking about our second public hearing right now.
Ooh, okay.
So why don't we concentrate on painting first, and then I'll make a motion to combine to have you run back to back, okay?
Perfect. Sorry, I forgot that we split them apart.
We have several questions on the first public hearing.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with Mr. Caputa.
Actually, Mr. President, I will wait until he's completed with the public hearings.
Okay, very good. Mr. Cyan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for coming tonight. I actually just have one question. So you were saying the brick is actually not going to be painted right now, right? And I don't think it's, well, I meant you're not going to paint it and it's not painted right now, right?
Correct.
That's my understanding of it. Okay.
Yeah, the rear of the building is CMU, so we are going to repaint that. It's currently painted a slightly different tan color, but they're getting a big push right now to get all the stores within brand colors, and so we're just updating that tan to a different tan.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had.
Are there any additional comments or questions from council regarding the public hearing pertaining to the painting of the building? Seeing none, before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Seeing that Mr. Cyan makes a motion to close this public hearing, that is seconded by Mr. Parson. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I would now make a motion to rearrange the agenda in order to have public hearing number 2402-2007 next and move it up in the agenda. That's seconded by Mr. Parson. Is there any discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? and the motion carries. We'll now go to public hearing number 2402007.
In accordance with Section 405-135 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 26, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To amend ordinance number 7965 for Walmart to allow for the exterior modifications in B5 Plan Commercial District located at 3390 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs to contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Thank you. If you go ahead and state your name again for the second public hearing, I'd appreciate it. And then, once again, you'll have the floor. We can start talking about that aspect of it.
Sounds good. Once again, my name is Scott Piper. Cool. Okay, so this is for everything else then. Fantastic. Okay, so like I said, basically the big part is what we're doing is moving the pickup parking from one side of the building to the other. With that, the signage is moving across the front facade to account for that. So we are moving that pickup sign that is over here on the left side over to the right side, which I don't know if you guys can actually see that over here. With that, we are putting a little canopy over top of the entrance, which might take me forever to find this. Okay, well, we are putting a canopy over top of that door for associates to come out of. We are not disturbing the existing brick with that. So that'll be a freestanding canopy, basically allowing the associates to come out of the building, see the elements, stay dry for a second, and then move on. We are putting a light pole in the middle of the new parking, and we're basically just taking over the existing parking. Our parking counts are staying roughly the same. I think we are going slightly down in our existing ratio, so we are going from a 4.73 to a 4.69, which is still acceptable. From there, we are restriping that front drive lane to work with code. I believe that's back here. I don't know why they have to have so many sheets. So that front drive lane is being restriped. Basically, we're taking it from a bulkier area down to just what is needed for each lane. With that, I believe that we are also adding in a couple bollards at the entrance just to make sure vehicles driving up can't get through, because you'd be surprised how many times I drive up to a Walmart to see a car parked right in front of the front entrance. So that's that. Transition up at the front. So basically we're taking it down a little bit on each side to the ADA stalls. We're expanding it. There were two on this side and one on this side. Basically we're expanding it out, restriping it, giving it a refresh. Trying to think of what else we are doing out there. I think that's kind of it.
Mr. Caputo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome. Do you plan on using local contractors for this project, or are you hiring them from a contractor list that you have that?
So Walmart directly does the contracting. They've got their own approved list. I think this is in-store design or services. I don't know where they're actually located at.
So that is the general contractor for this project?
Yes, so they're not, so we're actually in the bidding process right now. They have not technically been awarded the bid, but from the get-go, Walmart typically selects who they want. They allot it out to their preferred contractor list, and then from there, they get their subcontractors. Typically, they try to get the subcontractors from the area. That way it's local, it's easy. They're not trying to pull from different spots around the states.
Yeah, because I mean, we always, well, I do personally anyway, like to suggest that you use contractors and possibly minority contractors that is signatory with the St. Louis Building Trades. And we like to see that. I mean, our residents, it's a labor-friendly community, and we like to keep it that way with our contractors also.
I can relay that back, but
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
okay.
And I have one other question. That's all I have right now, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mayor Lowry.
Thank you. So while you guys are redoing your parking lot, I'd like you guys to consider something else. Your back entrance, which is right turn in, right turn out only, to the parking lot back there, that back entrance. There's a way that you could make that more difficult for people to make left turns into there all the time, or left turns out of there. So we just had a fatal accident there about 3 months ago. One of the, actually a delivery driver made a left turn in front of a motorcycle and killed the driver of the motorcycle. I'd love to see if there's anything you guys can do to make it much more difficult to make a left turn in and out of that exit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I will take that back. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I'll relate that back.
Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Not seeing any. Mr. Cyan will make a motion to close the public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you much.
Public hearing number 24-02-005.
In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 26, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to authorize a special use permit to allow for the automotive service garage for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in B3 Extensive Business District. It's Premier Auto Service and Body. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact City Clerk at least five days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Will the petitioner step forward, please? And good evening, sir. If you'll be so kind as to state your name for the record.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Glenn Travers at 1180 North Highway 67 with Premier Auto Service.
Good evening, Mr. Travers. You also have two public hearings tonight.
Correct.
So what I ask you is initially only speak to the part of the public hearing that deals with the service garage, and then we'll close that public hearing.
Perfect.
And we'll go on with the next one about the car sales, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, so we're going to be opening up in the rear of the building Premier Auto Service. We have a current location on New Florissant now, and so I get this straight here. So we have Premier Auto Service on New Florissant, and we're going to be adding more bays. This is going to be part of Premier Auto Service, where we're going to have 4 bays in the back of this building, and then 1 bay on the side, on the north side of the building. There's an overhead door on the north side, and then there's 4 bays in the back, and we're going to be working on internal dealer cars at that location only. So we're not going to be open to the public for this part of our service. We'll be doing internal automobiles from all my different dealerships, from Wentzville to 270 New Halls Ferry and Florissant. So it's going to be a shop operated for no retail, just internal cars that we have prepared to put on the locations, the retail locations.
What hours do you anticipate to be operating that facility?
8 a.m., 7:30 to 8 to probably 6 p.m. or earlier, between 5 and 6 in the evening and 7:30 to 8 in the morning. And we'll be actually closed on Saturday too, because we're not open to the public.
So will you be closed on Sunday as well? Saturday?
Yes.
So you'll be closed Monday through Friday until roughly normal business hours?
Correct.
I don't see any additional questions from the council. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience in attendance that would like to make comment? Not seeing any. Mr. Parson makes a motion to close this public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroff. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. If you stand there one more second, Mr.
Sure,
Travers,
no
we're going to
problem,
do this
yeah,
again.
no problem.
Thank you very much. Public hearing number 2402006.
In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 26, 2024 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To authorize a special use permit to allow for pre-owned car sales for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District, Florissant Auto Sales. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissant.com.
Thank you very much. And, sir, again, if you'll state your name for the official record again.
My name is Glenn Travers, same address, and this would be Florissant Auto Sales.
All right, sir, the floor is yours.
Okay. So what we're going to be opening is a pre-owned automobiles. We're going to be displaying the cars on the whole front of the location and on the wedge right across the street. And then we're going to have parking also on the other, would be the south side of the building. We're going to have some additional parking. And we're going to be having probably 3 cars in. There's a showroom in there currently right now, so we're going to be putting 3 cars in the showroom and displaying cars in the front and on the side of the building and on the wedge. It'll be late model pre-owned cars. So we typically have 19 to 23, so there's not old, cars there, and be a newer car, like my location in Florissant.
So will this impact the current location you have down at Charbonnier and Limburg?
No, it won't. It'll just be it'll be a lot smaller. It's more of a satellite store, like I had across the street at one time.
Mr. Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Travers. I just have one question because I was reading through the documents that we received and kind of need a flow chart to figure out how many corporations or what's going on on here. I see, Midland Hills Development Incorporated, then we've got Florissant Auto Sales Incorporated, Premier Auto Body. Just kind of explain how this is all fitting together for me.
So I came to Florissant in 1995. That's where I first started my location. Then I expanded to New Halls Ferry. I've got places in Wentzville, O'Fallon. I'm also in the RV business, so I have new RVs that we sell in O'Fallon, Missouri. I'm in the body business. I'm in the service business. And then Mission Hills Development is an array of real estate that I bought from the late 90s when I first got in the car business. I guess the car business got me in the real estate business. So, I've got several tenants even in Florissant, and so, we sell cars, RVs, service, body, and then we have, quite a few commercial tenants too, and a few houses in Florissant too.
Okay, so is Florissant Auto Sales, is that like is it an S corporation or is it a DBA?
It's a S corp.
S corp.
Yep.
Okay. All right. But Midland Hills Development is kind of who owns the property. Am I getting that?
Yes, it's solely me, and I own the ground and the properties. Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And I'm an owner operator on some of them, and some of them I'm not.
Okay. I
So.
understand. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Good evening, Mr. Travers.
Good evening.
My name is Tom O'Donnell. I don't think we've had the pleasure.
I think we have met. I've been around for a while, so have you.
My whole memory. So thank you for your interest in your continuing business dealings in our city and continuing here. This being in my ward, I just wanted to clarify a couple things. And one of the things having to do with the car sales with the 2 different distinct businesses, that the car sales, is that within the showroom area? Is that where everything will be contained as far as sales in terms of office or?
I'll show you. I've got a breakdown of how it's going to look. So we've got, let me make sure I got the right. So on the top is actually the showroom itself. And, no, I got that backwards. The square on top is actually the body shop area now. And then the showroom is right, I don't have my glasses. The showroom is on the right side right here. So when you come in this door, that's the entry level into the showroom. And then there's a little office here in the back. And then there's a service desk here. And over here is a like a lunch break room. And then the showroom's here. And then we'll have some offices in the showroom. And then you go right to the back, and that's going to be Premier 2, the service area. And then the big body shop is right here. And then the display of the cars will be all along Lindbergh on the front and then on the side of the building.
And I probably know the answer to this, but maybe I could just voice it anyway. I get a lot of concerns from residents about trash and receptacles and the like, and policing of the lot. And I don't know that that's ever been an issue, but just to kind of bring it up that, and I know there is zoning kind of and permitting kind of requirements with this, but could you address how your philosophy about what your lot looks like and in terms of trash? And
it's sort of my pet peeve. I keep all my properties looking really good. In fact, I do the landscaping before Florissant shows up to do it. They were, I think, working last week, and I had already done all the mulch and cleanup. We pick up trash constantly, all of our, our bathrooms, the inside, any, exterior issues that like at this location, we had a fence that we could have pieced back together and made it look okay, and we put a brand new fence in. We'll be staining it probably in a few weeks once it settles in. I also sent some copies to you guys about wanting to change the exterior color. I know you guys don't, it is a brick color, but I gave you some pictures of the colors that I'm trying to put on there. And then I wanted to show you, if nobody's been to the location, how it looks now. I've got a couple copies, if I can pass those to somebody. Yeah, so you guys have the new color that I sent this morning for you to look. I just wanted you to see the old color. So the building had been vacant for 6 months, and we're going to be resealing the whole parking lot. We want to put a nicer color on the outside so it has a nicer appearance. We replaced the fence. We just did a bunch of electrical work inside to get ready for occupancy. And then we're going to do the exterior paint. And the asphalt is in really good shape. We're going to reseal it and restripe it so it looks new, but it doesn't have much damage. So we've really been in there doing stuff for the past month, just getting ready. The showroom had old tile on it that we had put floor over, and it didn't look that well, so we actually removed the floor down to the slab, and we're going to be doing an epoxy pour on that, and we're probably going to be drywalling the whole inside of the showroom too. So we're really we've been working on it for 3 or 4 weeks. It's all cosmetic stuff, but it's stuff that needed to be done. And when you talk about trash, I mean, we've got, we'll have somebody there full time that keeps an eye on that and keeps it clean. Even with it being vacant, it hasn't been an issue. We haven't had any complaints besides the trash enclosure, which we'd already have redone when we redid the fence. So, appearance is big for me because people are coming in to buy pre-owned cars, and I'm not known to be a small independent car lot where you're scared if you buy the car. So we've always kept the appearance of all my locations, even the ones that I don't occupy, in really good shape. We're doing a bunch of stuff at the old Caldwell Banker that I bought probably 6 months ago. We're doing a lot of work there too, and we've got a new tenant in there that just spent a lot of money. It was a spinal rehab place. They went in and probably spent $60,000, $70,000 on the building. So yeah, appearance and trash or I'm always, if you go by any of my locations, even down on Newhall's Ferry in 270, which is a twice a week operation that we have to do because there's so much trash, and there's a Quick Trip next to us, so we're always keeping it clean. That's that's what we concentrate on, is appearance, because we want it looking good, and we want people to feel comfortable when they come in, and we want it looking good.
Well, thank you for your efforts and your response. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Not seeing any additional council questions or comments, I would ask that if there's anyone in the audience that would like to make a comment. Now is the time. Seeing none, Mr. O'Donnell will make a motion to close this public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Old business. Next item on the agenda is old business. Bills for second reading. There are none. New business. We'll start with board appointments. Your Honor.
Thank you. I wish to appoint Joe Redden, 1365 Hialeah, to the Veterans Commission.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for approval. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment shall be made.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Not seeing any additional board appointments, we'll go to bills for first reading. Bill number 9444.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 7965 for Walmart to allow for painting of the exterior and new Trespa film in the B5 Planned Commercial District located at 3390 North Highway 67.
Bill number 9957.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit to Premier Auto Service and Body Incorporated to allow for automotive service garage for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Bill number 9958.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit to Florissant Auto Sales Incorporated to allow for pre-owned car sales for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Bill number 9959.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 7965 for Walmart to allow for the exterior modifications in a B5 Planned Commercial District located at 3390 North Highway 67.
Bill number 9960.
Ordinance repealing ordinance number 8818, establishing a grade and step schedule for uniformed employee positions within the city of Florissant and enacting in lieu thereof new ordinance containing an effective date clause.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for a second reading. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance repealing ordinance number 8818. Hold on a minute. I'm working on it. I almost made it. Establishing a grade and step schedule for the uniformed employees position within the city of Florissant and enacting in lieu thereof new ordinance containing an effective date clause.
Mr. Caputa makes a motion for a third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. May I please have a roll call vote?
Yes, sir. Siam? Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Ordinance repealing ordinance number 8818, establishing a grade and step schedule for uniform employees positions within the city of Florissant and enacting in lieu thereof a new ordinance containing an effective date clause.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards this bill? Not seeing any. Clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Yes. Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9960 passes and becomes ordinance number 8960. 8960. Bill number 9961.
Ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into an agreement with St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners to allow for Officer Andrew Hale to serve as an instructor at the St. Louis County Police Academy.
Mr. Shulop makes a motion for a second reading. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter an agreement with the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners to allow for the officer Andrew Hale to serve as an instructor in the St. Louis County Police Academy.
Ms. Pagano makes a motion for a third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Parson. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, sir. Siam? Yes. Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson? Ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into agreement with St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners to allow for Officer Andrew Hale to serve as an instructor at the St. Louis County Police Academy.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it?
Did you want to talk on this one?
Seeing none, clerk, please. Oh, I apologize. Mr. O'Donnell.
Yeah, I'd just like to take a moment, if I may. I've known Sergeant Hale for many, many years, and I would just like to say that he is and has been an asset as an officer a detective and a sergeant to our city, and I know that he will be a great asset to the St. Louis County Police Academy. Thank you, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk, would you please poll the council?
I need to read it for a third time.
I got confused. Did we read it yet?
I think I need to read it for a third time.
Okay, well, we'll read it again.
Read one more time. We can't go wrong, really.
We can't go wrong by reading it one more time.
Ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into an agreement with St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners to allow for Andrew Hale to serve as an instructor at the St. Louis County Police Academy.
Seeing no further comment, can we now poll the council?
Yes.
Thank you.
Siam. Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson.
Bill number 9961 passes, becomes ordinance 8961. Council announcements. We will start with Mr. Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. In recognition of this year's theme for Black History Month, which is African Americans and the Arts, I'd like to recognize Paul Revere Williams, who was an African American architect based out of Los Angeles, California, and he designed the homes of numerous celebrities, including Frank Sinatra, Lucille Ball, and Desi Arnaz. He perfected the skill of rendering drawings upside down because in the 1920s, many of his white clients felt uncomfortable sitting directly next to a black man. This allowed his clients to see his drafts right side up while he was rendering upside down. During his career, Williams designed over 2,000 buildings. He received an honorary doctorate from Lincoln University in Missouri, Howard University, and Tuskegee Institute. In 1957, he became the first black member to be inducted into the American Institute of Architects College of Fellows. Paul Revere Williams, died January 23rd, 1980 at the age of 85. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just had two things. One, Hacienda Food Truck will be across from City Hall tomorrow evening from 4 to 6:30, and they're giving 10% of all sales to benefit St. Baldrick's. I would just like to take a moment or two and perhaps give voice that other council members may be doing as well. But on Sunday, March the 10th, we were going to have our third annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, Festival, and 5K run. That day begins with, or actually those festivities begin with a golf tournament the day before, on the 9th of March. They're going to have on the day of the parade the run, and then later after the parade at noon, there's going to be a festival down on the grounds, a kids area with vendors and food trucks and beverages and dinners, and I apologize if I'm stealing anybody else's announcements. But I guess really what I wanted to say here is to commend the organizing committee. And I started to try to write them down and research that, and President of our council is a part of that. But they do a great amount of work on behalf of our city, and I'd just like to commend them for those efforts. And I know that it's just going to be a great celebration. They have a Facebook page that's Florissant St. Patrick's Parade and Festival, and any further information can be found there. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Mr. Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Excuse me. I just want to remind everybody about Neighborhood Watch. It's important for everybody to keep an eye out for their surroundings. And you can sign up for Neighborhood Watch on the Florissant Police Department's webpage going through the city's webpage. Also, I am looking for a Ward 2 or a Neighborhood Watch captain in Ward 2. So if you need more details on that, please contact me. And lastly, I will be hosting a Neighborhood Watch recruitment event when it warms up, complete with a food truck and everything, and more details to come on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manganelli. Mr. Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. First thing, if you own a firearm, make sure you keep that firearm secure. Do not leave your firearm inside your vehicle unsecured. Be a responsible firearm owner or don't be one at all. Second, a little update on the pools, Coke Park and Banger Park. Went by there not too long ago, talked to the superintendents of each of them pools, and both of them are on schedule. We had a few days of some nasty weather, but they caught up and everything. And Coke Park, if you go by there, you can see where the structure is starting to go up for the slide system, the water slide in that. So everything is on schedule and going good at Coke Park and also at Banger Park. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Caputa. In addition to what Mr. O'Donnell said about the parade coming up on March 10th, I would only add that, and I appreciate the fine comments, that we are still looking for parade entrance. So if you have your family or you have a business and you want to put a float in the parade, or you want to decorate your antique car, or as much as get your family and walk down the streets and wave at everyone, Florissant St. Patrick's Day Parade.com is a place to go. The second thing I'd like to mention tonight is at St. Ferdinand, we just had our opening weekend for the St. Ferdinand annual basketball and charity tournament. This is our 12th year that we've done this, and we pick out a beneficiary every year, and we have games, 3rd and 4th grade tournament from all through March. This year we're going to have to go a little bit in April because of the way Easter falls and the way with half that committee is also on the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, so we got to take a couple days off. But I want to talk about our beneficiary real quick. Her name is Erica Bailey, and she's the mother of 7. She lives here in Florissant, and she has been diagnosed with a rather difficult cancer that she is battling very, 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 very hard. Mother of 7, she's the sole supporter of these 7 children. So we ask you to keep her in your prayers. We ask you to come and visit us up at the barbecue every Saturday and Sunday. Look at our website. Again, we are taking off the 10th of March, and then we're also taking off the 17th for St. Patrick's Day festivities. But we had a lot of great weather this weekend. We had a good turnout. I appreciate the members from this dais that came up and got some food from us. The food's good. Award-winning barbecue, I might add. And the last thing I'll tell you about that tournament is that this year, the first 2 games were refereed by 2 Florissant employees, Ms. Sonia and Paul Feldman. The first 2 games, they gave of their time, and they came up, and they'll be back next weekend. And it just really kind of makes your heart swell with pride when you, as a council member, when you see employees who don't have to come up and do that take their own time and do that, to donate of themselves. So come see us at the tournament. We'll be there next weekend. This coming weekend we'll be there both days. Then again, we take a couple Saturdays off, and then we finish up in April. That's all I have. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Well, thank you, guys. Got a couple quick things. The City of Florissant will hold a public hearing for the annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal year 2024. That'll be here in the council chambers on Monday, March 11th at 7 p.m. The city's largest event is the Valley Flowers Festival, which will be held this year on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. This is the 67th annual event. An estimated 150,000 people from all across the St. Louis area will gather for sporting events, car shows, children's activities, queen competition, parade, carnival rides, a flea market, craft fair, plant sales, and much more. So that's May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the committee is certainly looking for event sponsors, so certainly contact them if you're interested. You can call Becca at 314-837-0033. Or their website is office@florissantvalleyofflowers.com. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor. The next regular meeting for the Florissant City Council will be on Monday, March 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Mr. Parson makes a motion to adjourn the regular meeting. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroff. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the council shall stand adjourned. Thank you and good night. 50 minutes.